Well, this particular set of pranks are pulled by teenagers, and this is set in Japan. So as we all know, because we've probably seen it either on TV or in person, there are sushi places that kind of place a sushi on a conveyor belt, and they slowly make their way around the entire restaurant where people are able to kind of pick what they want and choose what sushi they want. Every sushi has a price. There's also, I guess, condiments on it as well.
Yeah.
And this is just a good, easy way of the chefs able to make it, set it on there, and people able to pick it as they desire. Kind of a cool system. I thought they were pretty cool looking when I first saw them. I've never actually been to one. I've just seen them. Because I've always been scared, like if I grab them, what if it's like a really expensive one? I just didn't know.
Usually the plates are color coded.
Oh, for like small, medium,
list,
or
like this, yellow's this, yeah.
I
So
see.
each
You've
one
been
is-
there before.
Yeah.
Nice. Because I was like, if this is $100 one, let me not eat this.
Yeah.
But the trouble is not coming from any sort of technical issue with that conveyor belt. It is coming from other patrons that are underage. They're deciding to film themselves doing some sort of disgusting thing to the food or condiments, like licking it, spitting on it, adding weird ingredients or whatever, and posting these videos online for kind of boasting, or what we call clout, internet points, if you will. This landed some teenagers in big trouble recently. Restaurants are getting fed up with this, and one in particular has decided to try and sue a teenager for $500,000. The teenager has apologized, but the restaurant says it's too little, too late, and now the teenager is going to have to learn the hard way that doing these sort of harmless pranks, bro, are not going to actually be that harmless to everybody. We are still awaiting the sort of conclusion to this, but I'm kind of curious where it will go. There's a lot of pranks that are happening with minors around the world, and they're starting to get dangerous. And I think a lot of people are thinking, what can we do about this situation? Do you think that often children do things when they are children that they later regret as adults?
I think that's what you're supposed to do when you're a child, right? That's how you learn things and improve who you are and build your character and everything. I mean, the regret is part of the process. If you're not showing regret, then you got some other issues.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think so. I mean, definitely I have. I'm sure you have, even small things maybe.
Yeah, they were mostly things that I did like that no one knows about that I regret type thing.
Yeah, but that can still affect how you develop. And hopefully improve you. Sure.
That's a key thing. You have to improve from there.
Yeah.
And I think it also depends. Like there can be things you regret later in life, but there are things that are just too terrible at the time to be let go.
Yeah.
I like bullying, for one. There are extreme types of bullying that are not just yelling at someone, but actually physically harming them. That shouldn't just be a regret in the future. It should be a regret now.
Yeah, I mean, there's times when we're kids, we don't know how to interact with people properly, and you think back on it like, wow, I was not such a good person in that instance, or maybe I shouldn't have done that to him. So yeah, there's a lot of instances, I think.
Is there any like kind of widespread dangerous pranks in the US these days?
I'm sure there are, but
Yeah.
the US is really extreme with a lot of the bullying and pranks. Like they don't just do the basic stuff.
I don't know if it's pranks as much as it's just illegal activity done by minors.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a prank. I'm sure there's some trends. There's been trends like that.
Oh, there's one a few years ago. I talked about this before, called Devious Licks, which was a TikTok trend to damage or steal school property. But again, is that a prank or is that just illegal activity?
There's one I remember now. Apparently on TikTok, the students in especially high school or middle school, they are calling their teachers by their first name.
Oh, okay. That's a kind of a harmless prank.
But they're doing it in a very demeaning way.
Oh, okay.
That kind of thing.
I was just like, oh, hey, John, instead of like, hey, Mr. Whoever. Yeah.
But it's kind of like, I don't know, John. Why don't you tell me? Like that kind of thing.
Oh,
yeah, it's a kind of a disrespectful.
You call me Mr. Xander.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Professor. Well, I guess it's not Professor at that time.
Yeah. So I heard that's one they're doing, and the teachers are not real thrilled about that one.
Well, teachers being not thrilled with their students is another topic. But for now, let's go ahead and look at that vocabulary and try to use it in our everyday lives. And we will see you next time.
Unsanitary.
Unsanitary.
Condiment.
Condiment.
Rationalization.
Rationalization.
Hold up.
Hold up.
Contaminate.
Contaminate.